Welcome back to Over the Binary. My name is Grace O'Connor, Vice President of Gender Wellness of Los Angeles.
Hi, Grace. I'm Casey Weitzman, also Gender Wellness of Los Angeles, the president and founder. And we're here and I'm excited to do this with you today.
We are. It's been a while. It's been a really, really busy last 8 months, Case. And I know we can't get into it a lot today, but obviously what's been going on in the news, it's really been insane.
It's really been insane. And, we just have to continue to have hope
Yep.
for people that we work with. I think that's really important because there is a lot of darkness right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of scared trans and non-binary people out there right now, and some of our rights are being taken away. And it is very scary right now. So we just try to remind everyone, be hopeful. This is unfortunately the phase that we're in. We're getting pushed back very, very far right now, but eventually we're going to launch forward even further than we were before.
I hope so. I sure do.
So we pride ourselves on being LA's premier source for gender affirming care. I'm Grace, by the way. I go by she, her. Casey, if you want to share your
I'm
pronouns.
Casey. I go by she, her as well.
So Casey, can you share a little bit about like major publications that we've been published in?
Yeah, we've definitely picked up our media exposure this year, and we've been in Actually, you've been on parents.com. We've been in Rolling Stone magazine and the Beverly Press,
That was
as
you.
well as appearing, yeah, as well as appearing on NBC, ABC, and Spectrum One News. Trying to get the word out there.
Right. Which we have, I think both of us were able to do the Spectrum One News. It was great.
Wow.
We started this podcast in 2020 during COVID because we believe it's important to advocate for the trans and non-binary folks in our daily lives, in addition to providing community mental health information and resources. It's really important to us.
Yeah, in a time where trans and queer lives are under attack, we hope to provide your audience not only our trans and gender diverse people, but also, our allies with an empowered digital space. And, hope that we can just kind of get the word out and continue to supporting, families, allies, and our clients.
Yeah. And since summer is coming to a close, summer 2025 is closing upon us. We just wanted to kind of give you an update on a couple things that happened with gender wellness this year, some areas of growth, ways in which we've kind of expanded our services. So in May, for the second year in a row, we sold out our exclusive transgender and non-binary speed fronting event on the roof of the LA LGBT Center. It was amazing as always. We like to do these events in conjunction with the Trans Lounge. Gina Bingham and her team at the Trans Lounge, and we sold it out. And we had food and we had conversation and people made friends and connected for June Pride Month.
Yeah, I was really impressed. And then the next month, we also had a booth at Trans Pride LA, which is the country's longest running Pride celebration dedicated to transgender folks. And the event had over 1,000 people, which really made me happy because I was concerned during all these negative publicity and how some people feel that it might not go on. But I noticed that they definitely added security. And I felt for 3 hours, we could all just hang, feel safe, not worry about bathrooms or anything, and just be able to be ourselves. So I wonder what it was like for you, though.
Oh
What,
my God, it was
Mhm.
amazing. I've been going to Trans Pride since 2016. So to see it grow the way that it has, and if anybody listening has not done Trans Pride in LA before, make it a priority. Dancing. I mean, they turned Pride Hall into a dance club in the evening, and they had a disco ball, and they had dancers, and they had taco trucks out front, and an event, face painting and resources from throughout the whole Los Angeles, Southern California area, medical doctors, health doctors, um, anyway, and hair removal places. I mean, it was really amazing.
Very impressive. And I know it will continue next year as well.
It will.
So what else is going on?
So, big announcement time. Casey and I and Gender Wellness are very, very, very happy to announce our newest clinician to the team, Ko O'Neill, who is our new fabulous associate therapist. She brings amazing, unique, valuable experience as a trans woman of color to the clients of Gender Wellness of LA. She specializes in identity and gender, religious trauma, neurodiversity, and queer relationships. Casey and I combed the whole state of California to find the right person that would be a fit. She's amazing. She's smart. She's motivated. She's inspired to work with this community. So we're so happy to have her on board.
We sure are. And, we'll figure out ways to maybe do some yoga classes and things that really gets the community out there more. But since we did our pride, our marketing manager, Courtney, asked folks at Trans Pride to submit their questions, which was really fun because it gives us a chance to see what people are thinking out there in the community. And so here are a few of the questions we received from the folks who stopped by our table.
And it was really great. People were able to ask any question they wanted. And we pulled three that we think are like pretty prescient for right now. So, question number one was submitted anonymously. And the question was this: how do I feel confident about myself when there is a fear of how others, especially non trans people, will perceive me? And I think I can start on this one. I think part of the challenge of being a transgender person is not only the concern about how I see me, how I feel in the world as I'm going through it, and how I feel about myself, but I'm worried also about how others are perceiving me. If I'm a transgender woman and I feel like I'm going through the world and everyone is seeing somebody male or masculine, that can make my gender dysphoria half 50% worse. So, I think part of the work that I do is my external work. It's whatever I need to do to socially transition, whether it's my voice or my body or my clothes, but it's also the inner work that I have to do, and deconstructing internalized transphobia, kind of getting through this idea that gender is a binary, that it's even in our own community. Casey, you and I see this all the time. Even in our own community, we think, well, there's only an acceptable version of trans women or trans men, and that it's hyper masculine or hyper feminine, and there's nowhere in between. And I think part of our work is trying to help people find where they are on that spectrum.
Right, and it can change over time, and the part about perceiving, I think that's why it's so important that some of our work is about building their self-worth and self-esteem and, always reminding them that, most people are very self-absorbed, so they may not be spending as much time as you think they are, but yes, we also wanna just, help prepare if something negative does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, on the wrong day, somebody getting your pronouns wrong can be devastating. Some
Mhm.
days it's worse than others. Some
Mhm.
days it's better. Some days it doesn't affect you at all. And then sometimes if a family member does it, it can be so much worse than somebody at the local convenience store who does it, who you'll never see again, and you can just brush it off. But if it's a family member or a friend who continues to do it, and you've had conversations, maybe set some boundaries around that, and it still happens, we have to decide at what point is this being done intentionally, and how much of it is everyone needs time to transition, including the people in our lives, and how much space do I give them?
Mhm.
I think Casey is always about, are they trying? Are they trying? Are they making an effort? That goes
Right.
a long way.
Yes, and I agree, and parents will say things like, "Well, I'm trying," and it's like, okay, a year later, it's not just not trying anymore, it's like some of the motivations I will do is I'll bring out a jar, and every single time a parent misgenders their child, they have to stick $1 in this jar. So, we're trying to change behaviors, and, you're right, just keep and if you make a mistake, which both of us do, it's just, "I'm really sorry," and then move on, don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is your experience, Casey, but I do feel like there's a generational difference too sometimes. I think the older generation, I don't know, maybe we've been on the planet longer, and we've seen where trans identity was in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, and it's like we've seen how far the movement has come. So it's almost like if someone will just let me be a trans person and exist in the world and I can have a job and I can have some support systems. If people get my pronouns wrong, that's fine sometimes, but I get to actually be on the planet as my authentic self.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a good thing. The younger generation is like, no, I want all of that. And I want to be seen for who I am and I want to be acknowledged for who I am. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I wish had been as brave as some of the youth now with, you know, coming out to family. There just were no real resources when I came out, but, you know, but even gay marriages are now being challenged. So, you know, I just feel the more of us that come out and are present, and feel like you're not alone is going to be really helpful for our movement, but to never give up. You know, we'd have to just keep going on. So the next question, number 2, is actually from someone named Harmony Johnson. Hi, Harmony. How can I support someone who is still figuring out their identity and may not have decided on a name and pronoun yet? This feels fairly common, as far as, you know, wanting someone, you know, we want to be sure that we support our friend and we get it right. So, really, it's about being patient, um you know, and hold space so that this friend can talk to you without judgment, because they might be getting judgment from parents or siblings. So really, if you can just let them figure themselves out, and they will over time. So it's really, I'll say it again, be patient. It will get figured out and you will be included in that. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think I don't think it should be incumbent upon the trans or non-binary person to educate the people in their lives. I would encourage anyone who is a trans or non-binary person in their life to do your own research, to go on the internet, read books, listen to podcasts, watch some transgender and non-binary related media, watch a movie, watch a documentary, educate yourself.
Mhm.
Because whether you're trans or cis, we've all got internalized transphobia.
Yeah.
We all have it. It's impossible not to have it in this society that's so binary. So do your own work as well.
Yes, yes. And if someone says they're they, them, try not to just analyze it, even if you're like not happy with it. Just like, just for if you're in their presence, just support it. You know, you can talk to someone else about it, but that goes a long way.
Yeah, they them has been around since the 13th century, okay? And it's actually documented, okay? So yeah, they them has been around a long time and gender is a spectrum. It's not a binary.
Mm.
And so it's really important to like honor people's wishes for who they are and how they want to be seen in the world. And I don't think that takes much work for me to respect someone's autonomy.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
So here we go. We got one more question, and this one is from Sebastian Brock, and it's a great one. And it is, how can we serve our trans-masc community better? And what resources can we improve on for the men in the TGI2S plus communities? This is a discussion that our team has all the time. We are always discussing how can we enhance our visibility in the trans-masc community. So I don't know if that would entail more groups for trans masculine folks, whether that's more targeted media, resources to bring more trans masculine folks together. It's a discussion that's ongoing. I think there is a, an abundance of information about the trans femme experience. I
Mhm.
don't feel like it is equal when it comes to the representation that
Mhm.
is in the media right now, films, television, radio. With the trans-masc experience, I think it's more of an invisible population.
Yeah, it's really confusing to me. I've worked with trans masculine people for 35 years, and they're definitely come into practice. And I'm not sure why they don't see mental health services as much, or if they would prefer someone that is male or trans-masc to go to therapy as well. So this is such a good question because, maybe we need to bring on a team, more of a team that's more diverse that can serve that community. So I know the desire is there. So I know we have some resources, right, Grace? Some
We will
places.
provide at the end of this
Yeah.
podcast, we'll provide some links for varying support for the trans mask community and, non-binary mask presenting folks as
Okay.
well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we do talk about, trying to find a trans mask therapist. I think that would be great.
Mhm.
We have been talking at some point. Maybe we need to host an event just for trans masculine folks. Maybe
That
when
would be great.
figure
That
that
would
out,
be
right? What that would look like.
Yeah, because at conferences, I've run groups for trans mask, and so if the need's there, we should also just try and see what the need is. So that's why these questions are so they open up our hearts and our mind.
And we love doing the work that we do today for the trans mask community. I have clients who are trans mask presenting. Casey does as well. We we go through the journey with surgeries, with self-actualization, with career and work and family and the coming out process, and owning your masculinity and what that means for you, and tailoring kind of a treatment plan that speaks directly to them. So we love working with our trans mask and non-binary mask presenting folks.
Yeah, we sure do. And we love working with our, providers out there that are wonderful with all of our clients. So, again, I'm so grateful for these organizations that are helping, with trans affirming care. And then for those that are not in these states, you and I are trying to get licensed in as many states as possible to provide it. I'm licensed in Florida and Idaho, and I think for you, what's
South Carolina,
uh,
in Florida.
okay, so there it is. So we're out there, even if you're in some rural town, and we have therapists that work on sliding scales. So we definitely want to, help people that are not in states like California.
Right, we offer super bills as well. If your insurance company agrees to cover some of the cost of therapy, some insurance companies will do that. If you want to call your insurance company and say, "Hey, if I'm see an out of network therapist, will I get reimbursed?" Some of them do.
Right, which is really, really great. So, I guess in closing, right? I think we're close.
Well, that does complete our questions for today.
Yeah.
I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't also share that we have groups going at Gender Wellness as well.
Yeah.
I'm currently running a group of the second Sunday of every month. It's capped out at 8 people. It's only $50. It's in person in Sherman Oaks, and
Mhm.
I run that from 10:30 to noon. And it's
Mhm.
full right now. But if you want to get on the waiting list, call Sam, our office manager at Gender Wellness, 818-855-1105. The other exciting news, which is we have a second group, which is Casey and I are running together at the same location in Sherman Oaks. And it's on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8:30. And Casey and I run that together. And we have two openings for that group.
Yes, and again, you get 2 therapists, and, it's more of a process group, so again and that's open to everyone, so, join in. All we do is do a little, intake first just to tell you about the group and what to expect and see if it's a good fit, but you were talking about getting in touch with us. And there are many ways. You mentioned Samaria. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Gender Wellness LA. Any closing before I say my little last spiel?
Oh, I think it was great to be back and good to be doing a podcast again. And we remain excited and impassioned about this work. We love working with this community. We love providing resources. We love expanding our reach and providing more resources to our community. So call us. Call us.
Yep, we continue to grow. We are here for you. Even if we can't serve you and you have a question, we will do our best. And as I always say, we are unerasable. Don't forget it. So thank you, Grace, so
Thank
much.
you, Casey. Always a great,
Hope
always a
to
great
do it
thing.
soon. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.